Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Mic check. Whoever jumps on, please give me a shout out. Let me know that you can hear me. You gotta do the mic check on the mic, because sometimes we don't know. We do all these tests and all that good stuff. So if you happen to jump on, if you're the first one on, just jump in the chat and just throw on a thumbs up, or I can hear you, or all that good stuff. Let me see. I'm gonna go do my mic check over here on LinkedIn. How about that? Let me do a mic check on LinkedIn. Let me see. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, it's working. It's working. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let folks get in the room. Let folks get in the room. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're having a great day. Hopefully all is well with you. The glasses did not get cleaned. Let's see. Let's see. What is today? Today is Wednesday. So happy Wednesday to you. What time is it? 6 o'clock here. If it's still Wednesday for you, actually, maybe you're checking in from somewhere it's not Wednesday still. Yes, there are some places that definitely is not Wednesday. So happy Thursday to you, if that's the case. Today is our second kind of conversation about what is an inspired life. We call it an inspired life masterclass because what we're doing is we're just going over the four books, the four initial books that we released to really just introduce the books, introduce the rationale and the reasoning behind what the books are really about and how it can apply to your life. And today is, last week we did Hard Work Sucks. We talked, not Hard Work Sucks. Last week we did Hard Work. And today we're doing Plan B Sucks. Plan B Sucks is a book that is really special. I think they're all special for some reason, right? But Plan B Sucks is really special because it came to me, the title came to me through doing something that my kids joke me about. A lot of people joke about, but they don't really understand to the depths of how important it is, which is TikTok. It didn't take me long to really recognize that TikTok is like it's the groove. Depending on where you are from in America, you know what that means. It is the groove. It's the thing. It's show enough. It is so amazing. And people say, you can go down the hole in TikTok. It's all this, crazy stuff and entertainment and, stuff that is unneeded. And let me tell you something. I always tell people, you receive what you seek. Okay? You receive what you seek. So if you're on any platform and you're receiving nonsense, there's a high likelihood and probability that you are seeking nonsense. And that's not a put down, because entertainment is fine for those who want to be entertained. But these platforms are very smart, extremely smart, especially TikTok. And if you're seeking something to deposit into your brain and into your heart as well, then it will show you that, because that's what you will see. That's what you will look at the most. That's what you will search for. And so I was going down my rabbit hole of searching for the enlightenment that I look for, motivational messages, spiritual and faith messages. That's what my feed gives me. And I found one of Chris Gardner. And you probably know, if you're not familiar with that name, it's from the movie, the real life story of Chris Gardner is The Pursuit of Happiness, which Will Smith played in. And what I will tell you is that when I saw this motivational message on TikTok from Chris Gardner, he said these words, Plan B sucks. It was so powerful. I mean, you got to go on TikTok, search Chris Gardner, and then do comma Plan B sucks. I will tell you, hopefully you'll find it. I don't know if I've never searched it in that text, but hopefully you'll find it. But I will tell you, it is a powerful message, very simple yet powerful. And it was so powerful that in the moment when I heard it, I was still writing hard work and I was about to complete hard work. But I knew in that moment, I was like, the next book is Plan B Sucks. It's it's hands down the next book. And so I began to write Plan B Sucks. And at the same time, I was writing another hard work. And I don't know which one overlapped, but I remember how easy it was to write Plan B Sucks. This is the book here. We'll bring it in a little bit. I remember how easy it was to write it because you know how when you are so excited about something that you can't get it out quickly enough. And, or well, I say quickly, you can't get out quick enough. And so Plan B Sucks was the first book that I actually began to do voice to text because I was like, I can't write fast enough. So I just started doing voice to text. And now when people ask me like, how do you write and why do you write so much? I was like, listen, I do voice to text because it's easier for me. Now, I'm not saying it's easier for everybody, but needless to say, that's all the background of how we got to the title. Plan B Sucks, a guide to unlocking your gifts and living your authentic life. I will tell you that I needed this book years and years ago, but everything is right on time if you're a believer. Everything is right on time. And when I was writing it because I wanted to share immediately that no matter who you are, where you are, what you do, who you say you may be, immediately I want us to understand fundamentally that we are the plan A. You are the plan A. All of your gifts, all of your talents, all of your desires, all are the plan A. You are uniquely designed with gifts and skills and abilities and intuition that is meant for this world, for this universe. That's your plan A. Not something you wrote down because, yeah, things are going to happen where you're going to have to adapt and adjust. I'm talking about you. So when people talked about Plan B Sucks, it was like, man, yeah, everyone tells you have to have a plan B. You have to have a plan. I'm like, I get the practicality of that statement. I was raised in that environment. Well, what's your plan B? What's your plan B? And I always share with people, listen, plan B is different than adjustment. Plan B is different than adapting. I'm talking about the plan A, which is you, meaning what you are uniquely gifted at, what you are uniquely talented at. We all have something. And I will tell you this, if you are searching for that something, I will just say to you, people say, what do you do? I've been searching, I've been looking for it. I'll say, you know what? Just pause. Just pause. Just pause. Just slow down. Because like I get excited about talking about plan A, I want others to know that if you don't know what it is, I promise you, if you've listened to enough people, they've already told you what your plan A is. They've already told you what your gift is. They've already shared with you the things that you do so uniquely well. And you just have to listen. Look, I will tell you that even my 9-year-old, I can see a lot of his plan A. Now, I can't see everything in his plan because he's 9 and he's still growing and developing and testing things out and trying things out. But I can see some plan A, not necessarily what he will do in life, but what he is authentically gifted at already in life. He's empathetic. He's an empath. Very gifted at really pausing and connecting to people when they're hurting or when they're in a space that he can tell that they're disconnected. He immediately goes into empathy mode and tries to really comfort another person. That's a gift. Everybody doesn't have that gift. Now, I don't know what he'll do with that gift, but what I'm sharing with you is that depending on where you are in life, I'm pretty sure if you live any number of years, possibly 20 plus years, you've been around people that have said to you or shared with you, man, you do that so well, or man, you're really good at that, or that's something that I wish I could do. And you may have just brushed it off because it was something that you did so easily that you didn't really think that it was this super gift of yours. You've always done it that way. You've always done it so well. You always stood out. And because of that, you may have overlooked the gift because it didn't associate or correlate with something that was practical, a job, something that that say that you can connect monetary gains to, right? And because it wasn't that, you probably glossed over it. And you may have been glossing over it for years, if not decades. And you've come to a point to where you're saying, I know that there's something more for me. I know that there's something that I have to offer to the world that's more. I want to first say to you that you are the offering. That's the first thing. And if you are in search, I would just say you need not search anymore because you are the gift. Now, the question then is, what is the gift that you have to offer? And I would say to pause, to breathe, to relax, to go to this place that Pema Chodron speaks about in her book, Welcoming the Unwelcome. She says, we go to a place of cool emptiness. Cool emptiness is a place where we go where it's uncomfortable. There's discomfort, but it allows us to just listen to ourselves, listen to what we may have heard in the past, listen to the universe speak to us and speak to our spirit to say to us, this is your revelation, a place of cool emptiness. I would encourage you to go to that place. It's a place that I've been for a while now, in 3 years, for a few years actually. I spent time there. I wish I could share a lot of this book with you. I urge you, and people know me, I don't do a lot of selling of the books. And people say, and I should, but I don't. But I urge you, if you don't do anything else, go grab this or do the ebook. Like, go grab it. And I always tell people, if you want your money back after you read this book, you can shoot me an email. People know how to get in contact with me. I'm online. Like, if it's like, trust me, it's going to speak to you. I want to read an excerpt, maybe 2 excerpts from you. For you, at least. The question we must constantly ask ourselves is, are we really committed to our plan A? Are we committed to the things that we say we envision for our lives, that we want to grow within, that we want to excel in? In many cases, we are committed to the dream. We're not committed to the journey. Once Chris Gardner, found his way in the stock market industry, he became committed. He understood that the journey was actually the prize. He understood that being committed meant doing things that he had never done so that he could accomplish things that he had never dreamed of achieving. Commitment requires your full attention, determination, and sheer will. It's one of the C's that he talks about. He talks about these C's, and I put these C's in here. One of those C's is commitment. The 5th C, or the 5th attribute I talk about here, though, is courage. And I want to share this excerpt with you because the etymology of courage is actually love. It means love, and it's historic definition. The word means love. And if you think about courage, to give of yourself in the manner in which possibly will bring you harm, it takes courage, something that is drawn from somewhere to do something that may not seem practical. It comes from love. The 5th attribute is courage. Again, this is one place where I deviated from Chris Gardner's 5C complex. He has a 5C complex. I said 4 earlier. 5C complex. I deviated a little bit and I added in courage because I wanted to talk about courage. But I chose courage because I firmly believe that without courage, this entire journey of fulfilling your life's worth is void. We must have courage even in the place of fear. When fear takes control of us in ways that are unhealthy and detrimental to our lives, we realize the worst of our fears. But courage actually exists when fear creeps in and we still move forward and overcome. We find a way through. There's no shame in fear. But fear is meant to be used, not to be a user. Fear is meant to be used, not to be a user. I talk about fear a couple of times in a few of the books I've written. We'll talk about fear a little bit next week when we touch on our next book. Fear is meant to be used, not to be a user. And when we talk about Plan B sucks, I believe that we have to be committed to understanding that we won, which we don't talk about enough. We have one life. One life. I recall growing up, when I would, be out of school sick, and I have to go to my grandparents' house. My grandmother she watched soap operas during the day, and there was a soap opera, One Life to Live. And I never thought anything about the title until I became an adult, and I began to really fundamentally understand what one life to live means. But I don't think we really express that terminology or the meaning behind one life to live enough. I promise you, facts. We have one life to live. Now, I don't know what happens after the life. Now, I don't want to get into that space, but I know in this present form in your body right now, you have one. One. So Plan B sucks, because when I talk to people, all the thousands of leaders that I've spoken with over the past 10 years, that we've facilitated sessions for, that we've coached, you name it, Plan B sucks because Plan B is not Plan A. You are Plan A. And I believe that we've gotten it wrong for so long that we can't even, it's hard for us to put the sausage back into the sausage maker. Listen, we always will talk about, well, what's your Plan B? Well, what's your Plan B? And I think we took it too literally. You see, there's nothing wrong with adapting, realignment, adjusting. But your Plan A should always be and forever be the gifts and the skills that you inherently have, that you were born with, and that you nurture along the way, even if you don't think you nurtured them. And maybe you didn't nurture them enough, but you are the Plan A. You were built and designed on purpose, with purpose, for purpose. And the reality of it is that Plan B really isn't really Plan B of what we think it should be. Plan B is really the adaptation of your Plan A. We've taken it too literally. Now, instead of doing what you were born to do, what you've been built and designed to do, what we're doing is what's practical, what's convenient. Plan B sucks because it's convenient and it's practical, and why not? It's a lot of folks living in a Plan B, unhappy existence. And even worse, there's some folks living in Plan C's and D's. You got gifts that you were designed to share with the world. And every day we don't share a gift with the world is a day that we are living in a space that sucks the life out of us. We go into too many workplaces and too many groups of leaders and people who are working in different industries, and you can see and feel and hear the disgust. And I always tell people, I don't think that, it's easy to say we're disgusted with the workplace, but what I find most is that we're not disgusted with the workplace, with the job. We're disgusted that we're living in Plan B. Disgusted that we're not living in a place that is affording us the opportunity to shine in our gifts, to share those gifts with the world. That's Plan A. I was sitting in a hospital, almost in tears, because I had recognized I had been going through life trying to do what was convenient, what seemed correct, what was practical. because of fear of living in plan A. See, plan A didn't have a defined plan for me. I was going to have to actually invest in plan A. Plan A was going to take some courage. It was going to take some commitment, some dedication. It was going to take some sacrifice. And I mean sacrifice. I mean it's a whole lot of sacrifice. It was going to take more of me. And because it was going to take more of me, I decided that I just wanted to grab hold of plan B because plan B made sense. If your plan B makes sense right now, but you are miserable and you are fighting and struggling to even get to whatever that plan B is, I would ask you to think about what is then your plan A? How can plan A be the guide in your life? How can plan A help you live the most authentic life you can live? How can plan A bring meaning to waking up in the morning and doing whatever it is you choose to do? Because plan A is not about a job. Plan A is not about a thing that pays you. Plan A is about a gift that you have and what was designed for you on purpose, with purpose, and for purpose. That's what plan A is. That's why plan B sucks. No, nobody likes plan B. You can't, if you don't want to admit it, I'll admit it for you. Nobody likes plan B. Plan B sucks because we all have a plan A. And the objective should be, no matter where you are in life, is to begin to sit silent in the moment and reflect, what is that gift that I know that I have? But it be writing really well, writing poetry, drawing, speaking to people, uplifting people, being an empath, being a good listener, being someone that loves to help people, being someone that just plays sports really well, like whatever that sport is, being someone that just likes to be around young people and help them and deposit into them. See, if you can begin to identify your plan A, your gift will make room for you. That's in this book too. My Gift Will Make Room is the fourth book we're going to go talk about in this series. It's not next week, but it's the week after next. So I want you to stay tuned. We're going to talk about how your gift will make room for you if, in fact, you are able to make room for your gift. In this evolved world, we associate what we're good at to how much money we can make. But I will tell you this, if you are only concerned with how much money you will make, you will miss out on your gift. And your gift will not make room for you because you then are in charge of forcing what the world provides you. I'm going to say it another way. Your gift will make room for you if you make room for it. When we force something, when we force a plan B, force a plan C, we begin to get in those spaces of misery, disdain, resentment, states of depression. All these things come about when we are in spaces over a period of time that were not meant or designed for us. Are you making room for your gift? Not will it make you $10,000 next month? Not will it help pay the bills? And I understand the practical nature of paying bills. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying to you, I'm suggesting to you, if you've not ever done this, then just take a moment. I'm not telling you to take 3 months and lose your job and quit your job. I'm telling you to take a moment, take a couple of days, take a week if that is okay with you, to just process what is my gift. You ain't got to quit a job to process what's your gift. You don't have to just overly just take everything that you're doing right now and set it to the side. I'm just saying, add this onto your calendar every day. Take 15 minutes, process what is it that I'm just really, really good at. And I'm not talking about necessarily a thing that you do in like writing or doing or singing. Maybe you are a filler. Maybe you just You're an empath and you just feel and you connect to people. Maybe that's it. But you gotta be able to know what that thing is. Last excerpt. I want to read your excerpt. The first step I took was to look at my purpose statement that I had written a couple of years earlier. I thought, well, hold on. I thought it lived within me since I had written it, but I actually had not unlocked it. And let me explain. After going through the process of writing down this passionate, meaningful purpose statement for my life, I presumed that it would move me to act. And so I went about the process of building my life around this purpose statement. But the one thing that I did not do was hold myself fully accountable for the work that needed to happen in order for me to fully embrace living out what I had written down on paper. I knew that my purpose statement was real. I knew that it spoke to all that I was created for in life. But what I had not done yet was fully embrace the journey that was ahead of me. I had to stop drinking. I had to stop doing drugs. All of these abuses were distractions. It was that hurt and trauma and my lived experiences that guided me to this place. The distractions were drowning out all those experiences and emotions that I felt. The same emotions that I needed to reveal my gifts for myself and the world. It's really funny, actually. The things that I thought were helping me cover up all the hurt in my life were the same things that were holding me back from living out God's purpose for my life. This was my awakening moment. It was as clear as it could get right there in front of me. If I wanted to live the life that God created me to live, I would have to be accountable for what I decided to do next. The clarity that came over me was like a windstorm that hit me in the face. To quote a very popular slogan, I need to be the change that I wanted to see in the world. I'm going to end there. You have to be the change that you want to see. You want a better Monday morning? Then you have to be that. You want a better Friday evening? Then you have to be that. You have the choice. And unless you are under 18 living at home with your parents, you still have choice, actually. It's a collaboration of sorts. But once you're out on your own, you have this choice, this magnificent, extraordinary honor and responsibility to yourself to choose. To choose how Monday mornings feel, to choose how Friday evenings feel, to choose what you do on your weekends, to choose what you do every single waking moment of the day. And even if you're having to choose a avenue and a vehicle that is a connection point to another step, that's a choice that you should make consciously. But just because you're choosing something that you say is not the long game, as long as you are in your plan A, in your gift, that's the choice that is going to actually make you bring meaning to whatever you're doing in life. But before you can do any of that, you have to know, or have to have a very good feeling and understanding, what is my plan A? Because for so many of us, for so long, and I mean us, including myself, we had been lost in plan Bs and plan Cs for so long that we thought plan Bs and plan Cs were the answer. Like I like to say now, God made the answer already. You are the answer to the questions that you have been asking over and over and over again. When will it change? When you make the change. When will I get through this? When you decide to get through this. When will this all come to pass? When you choose that it must come to pass, and I am accountable for myself to ensure that I take the steps for it to do so. And maybe you don't believe in God, and that's okay. We don't have to have that conversation, but I do. And what I will say for those of us who are believers in God, a higher being, understandingly so, God designs this thing that we must choose to actually participate in. What is your participation level? That's the question. Because I believe that when we begin to choose to participate at a higher level, meaning we are introspective and asking ourselves the questions, that many cases we don't want to really know the answer to, because it's going to place us in a position where we think that we're going to be uncomfortable. But the reality of it is that uncomfortable feeling that you're feeling is going to lead you to a place of higher comfort. Comfort that actually is really higher meaning. You say, well, I'm comfortable right now, Glenn. I really don't like the complexity. Yeah. I was like, you think you're comfortable. But when we start tackling complexity, when we start recognizing that when we identify as being comfortable in misery, comfortable in plan B, comfortable in plan C, no, you're using the word comfort incorrectly. You're using comfort incorrectly. I want you to get uncomfortable. And I want us to begin to seek what is already inside of us. My peoples, what's up, peoples? God has chosen your path for you. It is up to you to determine how you nurture the plan that has been designed for you. Bingo. What's up, family? Good to see you this weekend, too. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. That's my family right there, though. God has a plan that is designed for each of us. We are all gifts in this universe. And if we just took a moment to unwrap the gift without trying to correlate and associate it with something of some type of worldly gain, I promise you, the way this world has evolved, your gifts not only will make room for you, they will make abundant and extraordinary room for you. This world is so interconnected at this point in time. People from any country in the world can see me right now and exchange conversation with me right now through this vehicle. This world is not the same world from 100 years ago. It's not the same world from 30 years ago, actually. Those messages that parents and grandparents were telling my generation are not the same messages that we're sharing with our children now. And it's not because they were wrong messages. It's because now our world has evolved even more so. And now we can take hold of a design of spiritual nature, a design that we were created in this space on purpose, for purpose, such that if you just tap into the one or the two or the three things that you do so exceedingly well, that you can begin to actually choose you. Choose you. Choose plan A. Choose plan A because plan B sucks. I love Chris Gardner for putting that out there in the world. Please go search Chris Gardner's story. Go search his story. Go search the motivational message he left on TikTok. Shout out to Chris Gardner. I shout him out in the book for depositing that message into the atmosphere that plan B sucks, because you got to have a plan, man. But your plan is really you. Your plan is you. It's the gifts. It's the things that keep you up at night in a good way. The things that wake you up in the morning in a good way. That you do so exceedingly well. And only if you just nurtured them. Only if you just worked on them. Only if you just practice on them. That those gifts will make room for you. If you make room for them. I'll see y'all next week. Same time, different book. We're going to talk about Trust Life next week. But hey, in the meantime, go grab the book. I promise you. I promise you, you're not going to be disappointed. Next week, we're going to be talking about Trust Life. We're going to be talking about Trust Life next week. Trust Life is my gratitude letter to God. This is just, again, keep on talking about the message. Keep on really deepening it, going deep into the message. And then, like I told you just earlier in today's conversation, we're going to end off week after next with my gift will make room, because this is big time. This is talking about how does it happen, right? Because we have those questions, and concerns, and in our mind, well, how does it happen, England? What are the steps that I have to take? And we're going to start with Trust Life next week. We're going to get a little bit deeper into, especially those who are believers in God, who have a faith that has a higher power of believing. And we're going to talk a little bit about what it means to trust God, right? What it means to trust life. And then the following week, like I said, we're going to get into the word a little bit about my gift will make room. So glad you could be here with us. Remember, take care of yourself, take care of everyone around you, and I can't wait to see you next week.